Just got off a plane from beautiful Canton, Ohio. And JB, you know what coming home from Canton, Ohio means?
Football's back, baby.
Weeklies, too.
Weekly episodes. We are officially back.
From the Stream Center, this is the Rondé Barber Show, sponsored by Advent Health and Renewal by Anderson. Here's your host, JB Biunno, and Hall of Famer Rondé Barber.
Football's greatest weekend in Canton, Ohio just finished. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and the guy who waited a really long time, Roger Craig, gets into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It was a heck of a weekend. Get to commit, spend some time with guys that I played against. Granted, Luke Kuechly's first year in the league was my last year in the league, and just surround yourself with greatness. And at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it was awesome. The one moment that almost broke me, and I think probably broke everybody that was there, was when Roger Craig told the world that he has vascular dementia. And I had been around him a little bit in the leading up to going into this year's enshrinement weekend, and you knew that something was wrong with him. But all that being said, we got to celebrate the man with his family. I have been to the Hall of Fame now, and for this is my fourth year going back after getting in 2023. I have yet to see Joe Montana. I have yet to see Steve Young. I saw John Riggins. There were so many guys back for this, and I think a lot of them were there because they were peers and competitors against Roger Craig, and it was awesome. It was a good weekend, even though he made a very, very challenging announcement. There was a lot of people that are celebrate this year's enshrinement. It was pretty cool.
Where does this rank for you? I mean, nothing will ever top the year that you get in, and it's your time to shine. But I mean, as far as going back, I mean, this weekend sounds like it was pretty special.
This was a record number, 120-ish Hall of Famers. So many guys have started to matriculate back to Canton. And there was a time, from my understanding, that guys didn't come back. Like Riggins said he hadn't been there since 2002. And I was like, are you kidding me? John Riggins is my hero, man. Like, I grew up a Skins fan, as you know. Skins fan, Commanders fan now. And that's all I wanted to – he's the only guy I wanted to meet, and finally got a chance to do it. So this was a fun weekend. And – it signals the start of football season. It is preseason week 0. So that means football is back. And I don't know if you watched the game. Dude, it was a damn good game. It was like as good of a game as you could possibly see. And there's the picture of Roger and his son and Adam Vinatieri. And he blew it out of the water, Vinatieri. I got to tell you, if you haven't seen his speech, go at least read the transcript from his speech. It's unbelievable. And then go watch it. Larry Fitzgerald was amazing. He led us off in terms of giving the speeches, and he set the tone. Just a great weekend, man. Just a fun weekend.
And a couple of NFC South, studs. I mean, and Luke Kuechly and Drew Brees.
If as I'm reflecting right now, the Who Dat Nation, and I hate to say that, God, that hurts me even coming out of my mouth.
Clip it. He said it,
dude. They travel like it was a Super Bowl.
Wow,
there were so many Saints fans there. Like I was hosting the show from the field with Cynthia Freeland and Dan Fouts, and my first comment was, I don't think I've taken more friendly photos with Saints fans in my life. They were everywhere to see Drew Brees. It was, and he gave a great speech. And Drew is a sharp-minded dude, man, and he took us through his journey. And that's what the best thing about the Hall of Fame is. Luke Kuechly's speech, and because he's such a humble person, he doesn't talk about himself. But most guys give their speech, including myself, and you're talking about your journey. And Drew's commentary on how he got to where he is now and the people that got him there, but then also how he embodies greatness, and I thought was really, really good. Drew played in an era, and as we're going on this, Drew played in an era of like Goliath quarterbacks, right? Including Tom Brady, who will be in the Hall of Fame here.
It's the golden age of quarterbacks.
100%. And he did not look the part, but is like second in all-time everything in the NFL passing logs, and I think that speaks to the man he was, the player he was, the guy I couldn't beat. Although I did tell him that he needed to put in his speech that I intercepted him 3 times. I don't think he was keen to do it, but
do you ever take one of the house off Drew, or is it
did not?
3 picks though?
I had it may have been 4. I can't remember. I know I had one in when he was in San Diego, and I think I had 3 other ones, but I can't. He and I had a little conversation about what was the one, but one of them was a tip against Ricky Williams. He was bobbling a ball up, just intercepted it in front of him. One was like in 2011, I know, but I thought I had one in 12, but I can't remember when I was playing safety.
Let's see. I'm checking your 2012 season here.
Obviously we played New Orleans. I can't remember if I picked one off then. It's probably 11 now that I think about it, so it might only be 3. But either way.
No, I think I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you did. If I'm looking at this right, hold on, checking the box score. It was a loss, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think I beat him, but like 3 times
at home. And let's see here. Yeah, Rondé Barber,
2012
to October 21st, 2012.
So we're gonna say it's 4. I got 3 or 4 times.
How about it?
Yes.
Where's the applause button? Hope it works. This is incredible. So the conversations, take us behind the scenes, right? Because I'm sure the conversations that you have at these various dinners and the events, and you're talking to all these people. I'm sure. I'm sure a lot of fun stuff gets said. Things you can't say here.
It's a special weekend, and you have meeting with Jim Porter, the president of the Hall of Fame. He brings you updates you on all the goings on at the Hall of Fame. Massive expansion going on at the Hall of Fame that's only just beginning. They're expanding what would be a new ballroom, if you will, in a with it used to be on the little practice field that they had next to the Hall of Fame. That's gone. They're building structures there. They're going to redo the bust room. It's going to be a wholly different Hall of Fame here in a couple of years. But one of the cool things, and you saw that picture a little bit ago that they started a couple of years ago, is taking the Hall of Fame picture on the steps of the Hall of Fame right in front of the dome, the iconic dome that's outside there. And you do get a lot of conversation and a lot of fun stuff going on. There's a Nishki lunch, which is where it's just Hall of Famers in there. Warren Moon leads the proceedings, and what's said in there, I'm not allowed to talk about. So
that's where the good stuff is.
It's one of those things. Like what's said in here stays in here, and it's probably one of the coolest things that we get to do. The gold jacket dinner is probably where you actually get your, look at Larry wearing a vest. It's where you actually get your gold jacket. It is like, it's when it feels real. I did a couple of radio interviews and they're talking about my Hall of Fame thing. And I was like, man, you get your gold jacket at that gold jacket dinner and you're like, okay, now it's crystallized at this point. So, but those conversations, you talk a lot about guys that are in, guys that are coming, guys that you think that should be in, all that stuff gets spit around while you're maybe having a few cocktails or so.
And some loose lips. People will say, this person should be in, this person no chance.
One of the coolest things here, so you're seeing these guys, Larry right there, just putting his bust, and Luke holding his bust right there and putting it in place where it's going to stay inside the Hall of Fame forever. I started that.
No way.
In 2020,
hold on. Time out. You're talking about the actual act of taking the bust itself and putting it on the shelf.
And no one did it before. I did it.
Did somebody tell you to do it?
No. So here's the story.
Yeah, story time. I need story time.
This is a story.
This is cool.
So 2023, I get into the Hall of Fame, obviously. We go out. My party's a rager. It's still 3 a.m. Right? So we plan not to leave until later in the afternoon because I knew on Sunday. So I knew that it was just going to be the type of morning when I wasn't going to leave. After you have a little round table event that you do in the morning, but then most guys leave. I was like, no, I'm leaving in the afternoon. I might need to go take a nap or something. So I'm sitting there and Claudia goes, they're putting your bust up this afternoon. And she was like, we should go by and watch them put it up. And we're like, okay. So we left the convention center where we had a little round table, walk in there. They're putting the bust up. They got the camera in there, but it's not for me. And then they're like, oh, since you're here,
why don't you do it?
Why don't you do it? And we'll film this and it started a tradition. Every year since then, part of being part of your Hall of Fame weekend is placing your bust.
It's part of the agenda now.
Yes.
Like you'll go in there and you'll actually place it on the shelf.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
And you started it
inadvertently.
Claudia started it. Yeah, Shout out to Claudia, by the way, for saying let's head over there. Yeah, that's cool.
Inadvertently, just started a tradition. Pretty awesome.
That you'll always have that feather in your cap.
You heard it here first. I'm an innovator.
Real quick, because I have to know, because we're talking so much about the gold jacket. Where does the gold jacket rank in your life and your personal belongings? I mean, you have some items in your life that are special. Your your wedding ring, your Super Bowl ring, jerseys and various things. But
it's pretty unique, man, because that color, you can't replicate that color. You won't be able to make a jacket that looks. You can try,
right?
There's just like. It's a secret formula to make that color.
It's a cool looking
and it's
jacket,
so recognizable, right?
Yeah, the moment you see it.
There's a lot of other halls out there. There's none better than the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And part of that recognition is this gold jacket. Nobody else does what we do. You get the Ring of Excellence, and of course you get your bust. Your significant other gets like a little Hall of Fame pendant too. It's like there's a lot of cool things that you get. But there's nothing as iconic as that jacket. You can go back to the beginning of the history of the Hall, which is 63 years ago, I think. Mm-hmm. And every single one of us have the exact same look.
I think that's really look cool. Bad in that jacket. Yeah, you can't look bad in it. No. Now the bust, right? Is it a one of one? Do they give you like a miniature version or something like that?
I have a replica in my house.
Yeah, you do have a replica.
Yeah. And Blair Buswell, who's actually going into the Utah Hall of Fame here recently. Congratulations, Blair, who's the bust maker. He has probably a bunch of replicas in his studio down in Utah too. So yeah, but the original, the one that's in the Hall of Fame is the heavy one. Mine's like not heavy. It's a Baker.
I like your bust looks pretty. Your bust came out pretty good, by the way.
He does a great job.
Yeah,
He's a stud.
I as we talk here about the Hall of Fame. It's a lot of fun to talk about the Hall of Fame, especially
kidding me?
The future of the Hall of Fame. So, Bucs fans, we're gonna have a little bit of fun with Rondé here, and we're gonna go down this list. By the way, I think we mentioned this on a previous episode here at WFLA. There is some mysterious manufacturer's part that still hasn't come in. So the air conditioning here, and I'm talking to the air conditioning company that runs this building. Right. It is actually still hot in here. So whatever this mystery part that has to get special ordered,
you can fabricate. Just fabricate.
Fabricate wherever this is. Right. But it is a perfect segue because it is warm in here, and it does feel like the barbecue. We're gonna fire up the barbecue because we're going to ask Rondé Barber.
I can't believe you're making me do this, but I'm really excited to do
I can't believe that you agreed to do this. This is we're really putting you on the spot with this. We are asking Hall of Famer, Tampa Bay Buccaneers legend Rondé Barber on a list of these Buccaneers who is a lock to get in, who's on the way of getting in, and who's just not really there as of today. Right? Like okay.
Here we go. So, I apologize in advance for anybody that I offend.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire this up here, and I don't know. Are we gonna offend some people?
No.
I don't know. Let's.
I think this will be interesting to see how our listeners either agree or disagree or their comments. So make sure you post your comments on our YouTube page.
Yeah, YouTube comments below. Yes. Well, come on. I want you make a list. Tell us what you think. All right, let's start here. Rondé Barber.
So according to Rhett, we're doing Canton Lock, On the Path, or Needs More.
Let's start with number 13, who we miss dearly. Still, it still hurts. Mike Evans.
He's an absolute lock. I think there's no question that he's in the Hall of Fame someday. Now, that being said, there is a backlog of receivers. You know, the last receiver to get in first ballot was Calvin Johnson.
That's right.
Wow. Andre Johnson had to wait a year And he jumped the backlog of guys like Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Steve Smith, and there's more. There's just so many receivers that are worthy.
How many years did Larry have to wait?
No, he's the first ballot. Right. He's the last first ballot. Before this. Right. Before this one.
Okay, got it.
Before this one. Then like Cliff Branch and Drew Pearson, who got in like 21 and 22. Think how long they had to wait to get in the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying that's how long Mike's gonna have to wait, but he's going in Hall.
All right, so hold on. The barbecue's supposed to be hot in here, so I'm gonna. Is Mike Evans a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. And that's not a knock against him. I mean, maybe he is if he plays. If he plays 5 more years and he's like gets 1,000 more yards and he helps San Francisco, maybe he comes back to Tampa, helps us win a Super Bowl.
If the power station thing is a miss,
wishful thinking type thing. Yeah, if he wins more Super Bowl, maybe. Like if he completely goes and dominates the numbers, then you just can't say no because he's like a Larry Fitzgerald, but right now. He's a lock, but he's not a first ballot lock.
I think anybody who says Mike Evans isn't in today in some capacity is flirting with lunacy.
Right.
All right, let's move on.
Lavonte,
another guy that we miss already, who's made an appearance at Bucs camp recently. Lavonte David.
I think he's a lock. I think he gets in, man. And the reason why is because his draft mate Luke Kuechly just got in first ballot. Mm-hmm. Numbers will be
I'm gonna do a comparison
skewed in favor of Lavonte when you make a comparison to his draft class of linebackers. He played 14 years in the NFL, all-time leading tackler in Bucs history, tied with Derek Brooks, of course. I don't think this is a tough argument. There'll be tons of discussions about him, but won a Super Bowl. Made Pro Bowls and All Pros. Granted, he didn't make nearly as many as he should have made, and the reason for that, and we've talked about this many times, is that for years he was being judged against edge rushers as an outside linebacker because he was a 4-3 outside linebacker as opposed to a 3-4 outside linebacker, which is an edge rusher. And so he never got recognized for the Pro Bowl. He missed out on so many Pro Bowls because they didn't have that separate designation. And I think if there's one thing that's going to lengthen his chances, it's that he doesn't have kind of the grandiose, awards recognitions like some other players. But everybody that watched him play, if you just go by on the merit of his play, he's a lock, dude.
I mean, do I have this right from
Probably.
versus Finder? Because these when you check this out, Rhett, when these stats are side by side, folks, go to Versus Finder and maybe we can throw it up here in post or maybe not. But when you look at the comparison of Luke Kuechly and Lavonte David, it's pretty wild. Now, okay, so I'll go through it. Ready? Right. As far as sacks, Lavonte had 42.5.
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly had 12.5 sacks.
Yeah.
Why does that stat look wrong?
That's right. He only played 8 years.
Right.
So go
for 8 years,
go through these, and I'll tell you exactly why Luke.
It looks like an error. It looks like a typo. But 12.5 sacks to Lavonte's 42. Luke Kuechly, 690 solo tackles. Lavonte almost double. 1,172 forced fumbles. Luke Kuechly had 7 in his career, if this is accurate. 33 to Lavonte.
Right.
And fumble recoveries, 9 for Luke, 21 for Lavonte. But where things get, where the separation now begins to occur is on the awards.
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly was voted to 7 Pro Bowls to Lavonte's 1.
Yep.
Luke Kuechly was voted first team All-Pro 5 times.
Second team twice.
To Lavonte's 1.
Yeah.
And was also Luke Kuechly won AP Defensive Player of the Year as well.
So the 1 year in his 8 that Luke Kuechly did not make All-Pro was his rookie year when he was Defensive Rookie of the Year, and then his second year in the league, 2013, was his Defensive Player of the Year. That's where the track starts for Luke Kuechly. He was the most dominant linebacker in football for a lot of years. He did it differently. Obviously, his intellect and how he studied the game or prepared were one thing, but the violence with which he played was a total and the other thing. He might be not on top of that. and me and my boys were talking about this the other day. He might be like the best hook dropping linebacker in the history of football.
Wow.
He's just so heady and understood the game. But he's a deserved a Hall of Famer. The only thing that argument against him would be that he only played 8 years in the NFL. But so too did Patrick Willis. Only played 8 years in the NFL and is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. So all those arguments lead to me to think that Lavonte he's going to get in. He's got good numbers.
A shortened career isn't something that's held against you in the NFL like it is in the other halls, by the way.
Yes.
Because in the other halls, for the NBA and for the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, they'll hold it against you if you only played 7 or 8 seasons. But with the NFL and how brutal and how violent the sport is, it's not held against you. Right. Real quick before we move on, the interesting thing, we talk about this in the Stream Center a lot with Garrett and Rhett and myself. The interesting thing with Mike Evans, Lavonte David, the parallel there that makes these two fascinating from a Hall of Fame case perspective is that you could make the argument that neither of them were ever top 3 in their position at any point in their careers,
right?
But have tremendous model of consistency over
that's exactly
double-digit seasons.
Well said. I can't say that any better than you just did.
But yeah, I mean, as far as consistent contributors and staying healthy and being there for your dudes.
All right, who's next?
Evans and Lavonte David. Next up, Tristan Wirfs.
I mean, I think no brainer. This is
no brainer.
Lock.
No hesitation.
No hesitation. He's the best tackle in football, and he has been for a lot of years. Maybe other than his rookie year, he has been the best tackle in football.
Him and Sewell. Sewell.
Yeah, you can make that argument.
Yeah,
I would say he's a lock for the Hall of Fame too.
Sewell.
Yeah. And he's got many years left to play. Like it's just gonna be a no brainer when he's done. No brainer.
So this one's okay. Next, Tristan's making it in. All right, now we're getting now the heat's feeling a little. You're feeling the heat in here a little bit more. Now, all right, Vita Vea.
He needs more. Is he dominant? Absolutely. But there's been other dominant defensive tackles in the history of the game. Like Vince Wilfork jumps to mind. He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And that dude, you could not run at him.
Right.
And he is not in the Hall of Fame. So like he needs to separate himself from that conversation. Like you can't if you're going to get in the Hall of Fame, if you're Vita Vea, you can't be in the same category as Vince Wilfork. You have to find a way to be better. Win another Super Bowl, maybe stay with the same team for your entire career. Stuff like that. It's the things that help where you become iconic. Like you change destinations, by the way, and this is not a rant, but you change destinations at some point. You got to go prove yourself again and again and again. Now, he's the type of player that everybody knows how good he is, and wherever he lines up, he's going to be great. But Vince played in a bunch of different places, man. And I don't know if that's hurting him, but the dude ain't in, and he's a really talented player. So
Vita Vea, again, will have to likely be the totality of his accomplishments over
100%.
His career.
And it's just that's common for that position.
Right.
Because unless you're like an Aaron Donald who just reset the clock on his Hall of Fame candidacy.
Pause on that. He's coming back, right? Rondé, he's coming back.
I mean, let's just assume that he is, right?
Okay, yep.
So he's reset. So unless you're like a high producing sack guy like Warren Sapp was or John Randall was at defensive tackle, it's hard to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It just is. Prior eras, it wasn't. But under the new metrics of football, you better be producing a ton. And if you're Vita Vea, you're a run-stopping defensive nose tackle, you need to separate yourself from all those other nose tackles that stop the run. So hopefully it does.
Vita Vea needs more. How about Chris Godwin?
Yeah, he needs more too. He needs some more years on his career, man. And maybe try to pass Mike Evans for all-time leading number stuff.
Are they close?
No, they're not close.
I mean, well, no, they're not close. But
he's number 2 in our annals.
Yes, but how? I'm going to bring it up. How close they are.
So if he plays however many years this might take, Rhett, how many years would it take for him to pass him? Like,
probably another 3 or
4 or 5, right? Like get that type of longevity here and put stupid numbers up and lead us to another Super Bowl, I keep putting that out in the universe. Keep putting that out in the universe, putting that out in the universe. Then yeah, maybe he can have an argument, but he needs more. I don't think that's a question at all.
All right, yeah. I thought this was, for some reason, I thought in my mind this was a little bit closer. Mike's at 13,000 receiving yards for his career.
Yeah.
And Chris is at 7,626.
Yeah. He's just number 2 by a margin.
Yeah, but it's not like, it's a pretty significit margin, a pretty big difference. What are you pointing to there, Rhett?
Touchdowns.
Yeah, and the receiving touchdown difference is huge. And it's because these two guys played side by side. Mike Evans is 108 receiving touchdowns.
Mike Evans is Mike Evans, who we just started this by saying is a lock, right?
Yep.
So, and it just triggered me because we were talking about wide receivers earlier. The number 2 wide receiver on a team that has a Hall of Famer, very rarely makes it into the Hall of Fame.
Sure thing.
You could just,
because you're not the number 1 guy.
look at St. Louis Rams.
Yep.
Right? Torrey Holt, still waiting. Isaac Bruce been in for a while.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison, Indianapolis. He went a long time ago. Reggie Wayne, still
waiting.
Still waiting, dude. That's just facts. Just facts. Now, go beat all of Mike's records.
Randy's in, Chris Carter's in. So there are examples of guys who played together.
Yes, there are examples of that. Right.
All right. Moving on here. Baker
needs more. I mean, he'll tell you that. Yeah, he needs more. I mean, he's had 1 really great, I guess 2 really great years, and they've been here. I mean, he took Cleveland to the playoffs or whatever, but like, quarterback's going to be hard, man. Like, it's the one position where you have to demonstrate over a long time that you repeatedly do everything right and win. And if you don't get considered. It's just hard. I mean, we were having this conversation about the Pro Football Hall of Fame class coming up that includes Ben Roethlisberger, who I think is a Hall of Famer, but is up against the Eli Manning holding over. There's a couple of quarterbacks that you still want to have conversations about, and like, do you put Baker in that conversation eventually? Like, he needs more. He needs to do more. And he definitely, without a doubt, needs to win a Super Bowl.
I love throwing curveballs your way on this show.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. It's what I'm here for. It's just to throw you curveballs. Quarterbacks in the NFL now that you see as a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer that you see as a future Hall of Famer. You ready? Mahomes is in.
I think so.
Mahomes is in.
I think for whatever he could retire right now and be in.
Josh Allen?
Yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Lamar Jackson?
Wins Super Bowl, he will be.
Joe Burrow?
No.
Matt Stafford?
Yes. 100% yes.
Dak Prescott?
No.
I'm trying to think of others.
Dak is an interesting one because he's got a ton of yards.
Right. Regular season darling.
Right.
Too.
You know what you also need to do when you're making these comparisons or ask of this? How many times were you considered the best at your position?
Yeah, right.
So you were first team All-Pro.
Yeah.
Right?
That's like you were the elite of the elite.
You know how many times Ben Roethlisberger was first team All-Pro?
Actually, I don't know that offhand.
Well, because you won't figure it out because there's none.
Zero.
Neither was Eli Manning. That's the argument. Were you ever considered the best at your position? That's why I said Drew Brees getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame as the first ballot Hall of Famer speaks to how good he was in an era full of Goliath quarterbacks. Like, it's ridiculous, right? It's hard. It's the hardest position to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I want to throw 3 more your way.
All right,
because it's fun.
All right,
okay. Aaron Rodgers is in. Like
MVP,
first ballot. He's
2-time MVP, even though he should not have been an MVP the second time. That was Tom Brady's. I don't give a shit. What'd you say? Sorry. I caught myself there.
You did. Hit the applause button for Rondé Barber catching himself. We don't have to use the bleep button in post-production. How about it? I got one here. It's fun.
All right.
Joe Flacco.
Oh. He'll have an argument. But again, I don't think he was ever first team All-Pro.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have the longevity.
He's got the ring.
Yeah.
And then
I'll say he's in the conversation, squarely in the conversation, but probably won't.
And then there was and then the other one I want to throw your way, just because we would talk about this. Jalen Hurts needs a little bit of help. He needs some help.
But, some help. He keeps winning Super Bowls.
Right. He's on. The reason I asked about Jalen Hurts is because he is on you could make the argument that of this generation right now, he's on the super team, which is the Eagles, right? That their roster's loaded. Dude. And he's gonna be on a competitive
Terry
team.
Bradshaw was on a super team,
right?
And won Super Bowls and doesn't have great numbers and was all pro and is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You can be on super team and still have to rudder the ship to the promised land. So, and that'll get you in.
That'll get you in,
right?
I love the last two on our list in the barbecue here.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Because I love these two.
Yeah.
And buckle up, Bucs fans. Because Rondé Barber. Is Antoine Winfield Jr. going to make the Hall of Fame one day?
He needs to do more. Now, he's been the best in his position.
Mm-hmm.
He's been the highest paid player at his position. He's been extremely productive. Key piece of a Super Bowl championship. The one thing that I think will hold him back is whom he's playing with in the league right now. Kyle Hamilton's of the world, the guys that are in the same position that might have even more accolades than him. Now he has a Super Bowl over almost everybody, right? That matters, right? Don't
have deuces to Tyreek Hill.
More production from him over the next, let's say, 4 or 5 years, then I think that this starts to be like a question. But like people think about like the best safety in football right now. You know who they say? Like the guy that's comparable to him? They say Buda Baker.
Yeah.
Buda Baker makes first team All-Pro every year.
Yeah.
With 0 numbers.
Right.
Now, I love Buda.
Now, well, the argument to that is that he's a black hole out there and you avoid him.
Whatever. I don't think that's ever the case. But like he's not lighting up the stat sheet, right? But he always makes first team All-Pro. Like in order to be like a kind of a no-brainer, like on the path to the Canton, like you need people to be saying that about you. And I don't think a lot of people say that about Twiz. They need to. Like I think he's a good player, and he had a bounce back year last year, but 2 years ago he wasn't very good, and he was hurt. Right? People remember that, and so I still think he needs to like have one of those years or 2 or 3 where it leaves no doubt how good of a player he is, because we know how good he is. And once you get in that category, yeah, then you're there. So he needs more. He needs more.
If there was a Hall of Fame for awesome photographs in Bucs history, him throwing up the deuces at Tyreek Hill is still one of my favorite Bucs photos of all time.
No doubt.
All right, the last one. Buccaneers legend.
I can't believe you're asking me this.
Come on. We're going to ask you about Antonio Brown. Bucs legend Antonio Brown. Speaking of throwing up deuces at MetLife, Oh, man. I mean, as far as if there was a hall for crazy, I can't curse here, but I want to curse, crazy bleep moments.
Yeah.
That one makes it, by the way.
Yeah.
That's first ballot crazy bleep moments of all time is Antonio.
I'm glad you asked me about this one because Antonio's up for the Hall of Fame next year. Can we classify this with distractions and without distractions?
It's the Rondé Barber Show. You can classify it however you want.
So I'm going to say Antonio Brown is a lock for the Hall of Fame.
Wow. Wait, hit the barbecue button again. Wait. Can you say that one more time?
He's a lock for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Antonio Brown, for 6 to 7 years, was without a doubt, the best wide receiver in football. People don't remember, he has an NFL record for 100 catch seasons, right? He has 3 1,500-yard receiving seasons, 4 straight All-Pros, first-team All-Pro, 7 Pro Bowls, right? The numbers are like ridiculous. Like at one point, he was truly dominant with Ben Roethlisberger and his Pittsburgh Steelers offenses.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, and I might be biased because I've seen him work in Tampa here and in Pittsburgh. I remember going up and watching Mike T's practice one time, and I could not believe how hard Antonio Brown worked. Just how specific he was about preparing for that week. It was like he was so much more engaged in preparation than any other player. And then you go to the game and it shows up and you're like, okay, I see why this dude is dominant. I mean, go watch his highlights. His highlights are like pretty insane.
Yeah.
They're insane. From a guy from Central Michigan who ran like what did he run coming out? Like a 4.56 or something. Like he wasn't even considered like fast. But then go watch him run over the top of everybody and beat people off the line of scrimmage and never drop a football. Now, if you put the Hall of Fame of crazy, he's like the top ever inductee.
Yes,
so
right.
Minus distractions, he is a lock. With distractions, I mean, does that factor in? And now that being said, it shouldn't factor in. Like the Hall has always said that you're judged on what you did on the football field. So if that's the case, if that's truly the case, and the people that are voting only consider NFL record for 100 catch seasons, 4 consecutive first team All-Pros, 7 Pro Bowls, top 10 in yards and touchdowns. Like, dude, what are we talking about?
This guy was so good that Tom Brady was like, yo, you want to come live with me?
I'll take care of you.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that's how good this guy was. Tom Brady said, "Yo, you're crazy, but you want to go? Come live with me, and I'll put you up for a little bit." And man, it was a fun time.
We are a little unhinged right now on the Rondé Barber Show, but that's what you watch us for.
Oh man, the Rondé Barber Show. All right, we're gonna talk the actual Bucs team right now. We're in Bucs camp. Oh man, we're gonna talk about it right after this.
You're watching the Rondé Barber Show, sponsored by Renewal by Anderson, superior products, exceptional service, and by Advent Health, the exclusive hospital of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We're probably going to talk about this after the show, so I'm just going to bring this up right now. You put Antonio Brown and Larry Fitzgerald in Versus Finder.
Yeah.
It's interesting, right? Larry blows him out of the water,
right?
In the totality of the stats.
Yes.
But Antonio Brown... Right. I mean, we're talking about a 4-time first team All-Pro. That's some black ink that shouts out at you on that page.
Yes.
So.
I mean, and Larry is a legend, dude. Larry Legend for a reason, right? Play forever, was dominant. The one stat that they kept saying at the Pro Football Hall of Fame ceremony this week, Chris Berman does it. The girl I was working with had this stat: more career tackles for Larry Fitzgerald than drops.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You're like, excuse me? First of all, I'm like, well, goddamn, Kurt Warner, stop throwing the ball to the other team.
That's right, exactly, yeah.
Or Carson, whoever the quarterbacks were, quit throwing the ball to the other team. Crazy. Isn't that a nutty stat?
That stat doesn't feel real.
No.
I'm sitting here, my brain just
I think it was like computing. 41 tackles to like 29 drops or something.
Unbelievable.
That's ridiculous.
Larry Legend, man. There will never be another like him. You know what's fun? When you're somebody very, very smart in the Bucs front office was like, you know who we want up first in preseason to get our guys feeling good? We want the Jets. I mean, like if you want everybody feeling great at camp and feeling like, man, we're gonna have the best season ever. I want Baker feeling good. I want this defense firing at all cylinders. Just go fly. Be like, you know what? We'll fly to you. We'll fly to your awful facilities in New York, and we'll come to you. And that's what's happening right now with the Bucs. They are in joint practices with the Jets ahead of their first preseason game.
I will correct one thing you said. The Jets facilities in Florham Park are really nice.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're actually really nice. My brother lives right down the street. He lives in the area. So
okay.
I've been there. I've been there many times.
I apologize to all the. I'm just so used to the Jets being bad at everything. I thought their facilities,
else,
right?
Yeah, everything else
facilities
about them
bad.
is like 3 out of 14.
Right.
The Jets practice with the Bucs this week, and this is first of 2 joint practice sessions that the Bucs will have this year. They'll be in Jacksonville, preseason week 3 for us, doing the same thing. These practices are invaluable. I mean, yes,
they are important.
Yes, and because especially as it times out for us this year, the starters won't play this week. I think we're going to get Connor Bazelak as the starting quarterback because Browning somehow got hurt in practice yesterday. I mean, hopefully he comes back and gets to play because I want to see Browning play. Connor Bazelak had a great preseason last year. I mean, doing the games and being really impressed with the kid. But he's getting supplanted, if you will, as the number 2 by Browning, and this is his opportunity. So looking forward to those things, and that's what the first and third preseason game will be for us, because you get that work in practice. Like, you get to see real competition. I noticed it when I watched film on practice from yesterday. It's like, training camp, the monotony of it. You're running the same team. You're playing against the same team. Like, how many times can Luke Gedeke go against David Bailey in practice and like really feel like you're competing? The energy and the speed of practice was 30% higher yesterday.
Wow.
Which proceeded to cause 4 fights. Which you like. Okay.
I don't mind it. You don't like.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Like, I don't mind it. It happens. If it doesn't happen, it's probably a dull ass practice, right? Like, you don't encourage it. I'm not gonna say like, hey, go out there and fight, but like, it really in the back of your mind, that is what you're telling yourself. You're like, we gotta go fight, man. We gotta go compete. Now, you don't want to, drop the gloves. I mean, you can't pull off your receiver gloves and like hockey does and go fight. But there's easy to pull helmets off, and as long as you're not swinging them around as a weapon, then yeah, I get it.
It's also been really hot up there, I've heard, in New York. So the Bucs are thinking, oh man, we'll get out of Florida. Maybe it'll be a little bit cooler up there. No. It's been hot in New York as well. What are you hearing from you're always talking to your friends, as far as your friends One Buck Place, what are you hearing as far as some Bucs intel on players that have looked good, or maybe players that are some concerns, or what are you hearing?
Well, let's start with concerns, because I like talking about the good stuff last. I'm concerned about our secondary. I know Benjamin Morrison, according to Rhett, crack reporter here, just reporting that he actually put on pads in practice today, which is a good thing. But he's been out like since the offseason, right? And he hasn't really gotten any reps, and we were counting on him to compete for a starting position at corner next to Zion McCollum. Now, Jacob Parrish is really taking the lead, and I think going into the offseason, Jacob was probably going to get a chance to do that anyways. And then we drafted Keontae Scott from Miami, who will probably be the starting nickel. It seems like that's the way that competition is going. But I am concerned. Like when I do a preseason game on Friday on WFLA, your official Bucs station.
Hell yeah.
You will hear me voice my concerns about the Bucs secondary, just because of the depth piece. There's not a lot of experience back there. Josh Hayes is still there, but the guys that are really playing for like the second level of corner are all young guys, first, second year guys, and that's concerning.
To push back a little bit, is the concern about the secondary as a whole, or is the concern really focused on BMO? Because let's just say let's in an alternate reality, let's say BMO's having an outstanding camp and looks like the legit talent that he was drafted to be. Are your concerns still there?
No, because it only takes one player to get hurt for you then to look like, oh man, what are we doing here? Look, coming into this season, we knew that were going young in the secondary. Like, we knew it, right? Jamel Dean goes to, where do you go? Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
We don't replace him with any vet. You got 2 second-year players that are going to compete for the starting position. You're likely, obviously, which we did, you're going to draft a cornerback. So immediately you're young. And you still got Zion, who's still relatively youngish in his career. He's like year 5, I think. And so you're saying to yourself, like, we look good on the first line, but we know that every year one of these guys gets hurt. And behind them, you got like Josh Hayes and Aiden Garnes, who's actually been taking reps with the number 1 defense all camp. And you're like, who is this guy? He's a big athletic guy, but I don't know who he is. Like that's what you feel. Demarion Williams, who came over in free agency this year, you're like, yeah, but we don't know who he is. Like, he was 4th round pick last year, but he jumped around to 2 or 3 teams, right? Like, that doesn't make you feel good about the depth piece at corner, especially with Benjamin Morrison hurt. So hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully he goes into the season healthy and it's no longer a concern. All right, what am I hearing positive? We probably have the deepest edge room we've ever had.
Wow.
And yes, we could talk about Yaya Diaby and Anthony Nelson, who are the holdovers from that room. But this Ruben Bain kid might be really, really, really good. Really, really, really good.
I mean, that kind of good.
Yeah, really, really good. Like violent, like has an array of pass rush moves, knows how to set up tackles. He was obviously well coached in high school / college or whatever, because he came to the league and he looks like a vet already. That's what I know. And then on top of Ruben Bain, who we all expecting to be great, David Bailey is jumping off the screen.
New York Jets, David Bailey.
No, I'm sorry, David Walker.
Oh, okay. All right.
David Walker.
Yes, because David Bailey has also looked well as well. So
that's why my head
for
was
Jets camp.
But David Walker jumping off the screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he's basically like a free draft pick. Yeah, I remember Jason Light saying that last year, because he was having a good camp last year and then tore his ACL, like I think the third or fourth practice or whatever. And we knew when we got him back, if he came back anywhere close to the way he was, then he would be a immediate contributor. Well, that guy is showing up. So when you're watching the game this Friday, I expect him to get a lot of snaps. I mean, they're probably going to have him on a pinch count. They don't want to, overwork him, but get him 20, 30 snaps. I'd love to see it. I'm going to pay all my attention to this dude because he has been dominating camp, not only against us, but yesterday against the New York Jets as well. And hope probably the same today when they go out to practice.
I use this expression a lot because I do believe that I just like it. So the smoke on him is real. You think that the smoke is real? The smoke is real on Ruben Bain. I think that we're hearing it from all over the NFL sphere.
That's full blown fire. Yeah. Like you can see the flames. Dude.
Yeah, but the smoke on David Walker is real.
I think it's real, dude. And so that with Muhammad, who can play inside and outside for us, but has it's his best year in NFL last year in Detroit. Like, it's the deep room, man. We should be encouraged. They went about to try to change, the narrative of this defense not being able to get to the quarterback. Well, they got the players. I mean, obviously, it needs to materialize and happen when the games get going. But dude, I'm pretty excited about that room right now.
We have this is kind of a semi announcement of this. I believe we are going to have a Rondé Barber show Bucs season preview special, a two-parter that we are working on here that is going to cover all things Bucs by position, and we're really excited. Producer extraordinaire Rhetfield Jr. and I are going to be working on it.
Can't wait.
With Rondé, and we're going to really break down the Bucs ahead of week one. So there's a lot more to come as we analyze the roster, talk more about Zac Robinson's offense.
Zac Johnson's a golfer, dude.
Yeah, I know.
What's on your mind?
We going off season mode. What are we doing here?
Are we going golfing after this or something?
Yeah. You talking David Bailey, me talking Zac. What's going on? We're back into weeklies. We need to start bringing it.
Yes.
So there's a lot more to come as we really break down the Bucs and their hopes for this season. But odds and ends before we wrap up here. Any other notes in your notebook? Anybody else you want to shout out, or anything else that jumped off?
Yeah, I mean,
the page
the big thing, and just because I love this guy, we got a new special teams coordinator, Danny Smith. Like, this dude is awesome. He's all about the work, details, preparation. Like, he's entertaining.
Yeah,
Bucs fans, you never probably had as entertaining a special teams coordinator. Well,
does that mean
Joe Marciano was pretty entertaining back in my day?
Does entertaining mean will there be some trickery this year? Could there be some?
He is not scared to pull out the trickerations.
Okay.
And he's going to destroy a pack of gum on the sideline. Mark my words.
A couple of notes that I have from seeing from social media. Apparently, Josiah Trotter is a highlight reel sort of a defensive player. I mean, it's gonna light up some players in the preseason.
He has a chance, man. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna anoint him. I mean, I played against his father, and his dad played with me for however long he was here in Tampa. I can't remember. The dude could be one of the best players on the team this year. With just initial reactions, we'll see. But the guy is really good, really, really good. He's a different type of linebacker. We're used to the Derek Brooks of the world. We're used to the Lavonte Davids of the world, Savasier Dennis, just that body type. This dude is not built like that. He is a man. Look at him standing next to Ruben Bain.
Yeah,
they look the same.
Wow.
Yeah, he's impressive.
You said it on a previous edition, a hammer looking for a nail.
Yes, that is exactly what he is. The other guy that I'm really looking forward to seeing, especially preseason 1, is Ted Hurst. Third-round draft pick. Obviously, he's in a crowded wide receiver room, which actually doesn't feel that crowded. Jalen McMillan's been injured the past couple of days or for a week or whatever. And I'm sure you're saying, well, who's wide receiver 3? I mean, it felt like a really good room. And now you're counting on Ted Hurst as a rookie and Tez Johnson, who's more of a specialty piece, to be your wide receiver 3. Like there's a conversation there. The depth piece there doesn't look as like great as you might think that it does. There's some players there. Cam Johnson, Garrett Green had some run last year, but like that's the same thing we're saying about the corners. You get one injury and all of a sudden it doesn't feel the same. So that's what the preseason's for, man. That's when we get to watch these games and, let guys, shape their future on the football field. And we're here. We're here, man. We're here. We're football season.
Football's back, baby. All right. News Channel 8 is your official Bucs station. WFLA will be carrying the entirety of the 3-game preseason slate. It, of course, begins on Friday with the Buccaneers at the Jets. 7 o'clock kickoff on Friday. And then, of course, the Bucs come home. Oh, yeah, by the way, Rondé Barber in the booth with John Gruden. Man, no play-by-play guy, just Rondé and John Gruden talking football for a few hours. I can't wait. I know Bucs fans can't wait as well. That will also be on WFLA for Taylor Swift's favorite team coming into town. And then Buccaneers, Jaguars will close out the preseason again on WFLA on August 28th, 7:30 kickoff. Then, so Buccaneers fans, get ready. Preseason's here on WFLA. Check out all of our coverage with our incredible Bucs team, and I'm excited for football to be back. Speaking of being back, we're going to be back with some of your comments when the Rondé Barber Show returns right after this.
It's time for you to Ask Rondé. Sponsored by Advent Health and Renewal by Anderson.
What? The Lakers just got sold?
God, too bad we're not a basketball show. Holy cow, what?
Who sells the Lakers? Like, didn't you had some tweet yesterday, you're like, you don't sell the Mona Lisa.
You don't do it.
You don't sell the Lakers.
That's like selling the Yankees.
You don't sell the Yankees. You don't sell the Lakers. You don't sell the Celtics. You don't sell the Cowboys. There's some teams you just don't sell.
$12 billion.
Oh, my God. Are we going to put this in the show? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe we do. Is this gonna make it?
It could be behind the scenes ranting.
Behind the scenes, like we just literally found out the Lakers got sold, and yeah.
Just keep the music playing over it. It'll act like we meant to do that.
With football coming back, as a reminder, and weekly episodes coming back, by the way, you can submit your video questions to AskRondé.com, and we'll put you on the show. We're not kidding. We put you on the show. All you got to do is take out your phone. Send in a fun question for Rondé. It could be about the Bucs. It can be about Rondé. It can be about his career. It can be about
the Lakers being sold for $12 billion. I won't have any comment on it. I'll just be like you. I'll just mouth open like, what?
We love to see our fans, man, the listeners. I ran into one recently at a restaurant. Shout out Graham.
Did Graham tell you to tighten up? Was this the guy that said, tighten up, JB?
No, who was the guy that told me to tighten up? That was whoever the guy told me to tighten up. Have I tightened up yet?
You're tightened up.
Am I?
Yeah.
I wore my Rondé Barber shirt today. Yeah, man, we're always checking out your YouTube comments, everybody, as Rondé's nodding in approval here and seeing what folks have to say.
I'm trying to read through them. We haven't talked about Baker at all. Oh, that one right there.
The Bucs have a decision to make with Baker, but look, that's a decision that's going to have to wait because Baker is going to be playing the entirety of the year without a contract extension. That's what
supposedly.
We have been told. Supposedly.
Yes.
What's your take on it, Ronnie?
Play the year out. Bet on yourself, Baker. He should.
If there's a quarterback that's going to bet on himself, Baker's the one to do it.
Is he not going to play? I mean, the problem with the Bucs, if Baker gets hurt or doesn't play for any reason, Browning and Bazelak and Daniels, who has not quite learned how to play NFL football yet. Like, I don't want to say Baker has the right to say this, but yeah, this is the dire straits if we lose our quarterback.
Period. Big Gingers. Rondé having 100% certainty on a Mecca hitting 1,000 yards. I just took out a loan on my 401k and put my life savings on that. Thank you, Rondé, for helping me double my net worth this year.
That's hyperbole.
Yeah, I mean, look, you feeling good about a Mecca.
Mecca's going to have 1,000 yards. I think so.
Yep.
I mean, he's a breakout. This is a breakout year for him. Not that he wasn't last year, but he was sharing the room with, Mike for parts of it, and then Chris. I mean, for much of last year, he was our number one receiver. He was like our number one target. There was like 4 or 5 games in a row where I think we overfed him. Like we were trying to force the ball to him. So a year under his belt, I mean, he looks good so far. I mean, he looks the part. Now is he going to produce like a number one receiver? We can all hope so. He definitely has the talent to, and he's got the quarterback that's going to give him the chances. So,
and as we've been scrolling here on these comments, a lot of love here. Hopefully, I've tightened it up a bit, but a lot of love for the show. And we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, the bell notification. I don't know the lingo, but you know what to do. Hit the buttons to follow the show here on YouTube.
We're going to this one.
Wasp says, "Hey Rondé, I've always wanted to know the answer to this question. In 2003, you guys lost to the Panthers in Tampa Bay, and it was a low-scoring defensive game. Bucs were down most of the game, but the last minute, Bucs scored a TD to tie, but needed the extra point to win, and it was blocked. I've always wondered what the morale was on the sideline. Did that result affect the rest of the season?"
I mean, that was the year after the Super Bowl, I presume, the 03 season.
I'm looking at the box score.
Yeah, if that was the year after the Super Bowl, that did not affect our morale as much as losing to who did we lose to that game? Was that the Indy year? Monday Night Football, was that if that was that year, that was the most demoralizing thing I've ever been through, and it showed that we were not as perfect as we thought we were. But now, like missing an extra point to lose after fighting in a game, almost every game in the NFL comes down to a kick. That's why Adam Vinatieri is a Pro Football Hall of Famer, by the way, because he was the most clutch kicker in history and scored the most points, and you need somebody reliable. So I mean, that probably sucked, which like you have a game, and I think we looked this up, right? You have a game where you get 2 interceptions, Simeon Rice is dominating the game, and Brad Johnson, I presume that's who the quarterback was, Brad Johnson comes out and scores a touchdown. All we got to do is kick an extra point to tie the game. Yeah, that sucks, but that's not the reason like you get demoralized. It just happens.
Not to mention you're still going home at the end of the day, and you get to check out your Super Bowl ring at home, and you're still champion at that point in your career.
We're still on a high at that point. That's for sure.
Any other comments before we wrap up this edition, folks? AskRondé.com. Submit your video questions, and then you can actually be on the show. It's not just your comment, but we'll put your video on the show, especially as we get now back into weekly episodes, and we're talking all things Bucs football every week with Rondé.
We crushed a lot this episode, dude.
Yeah, we did. We got a lot.
A lot in this episode.
And I see that Glenn has subscribed to the show. To everybody that has subscribed to the Rondé Barber Show YouTube channel, we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much. And we do respond, as you can see right there. We respond to comments, so we look forward to.
Well, somebody in this room responds.
Yeah, he's right over there. Shout out to Rhett Vale Jr., producer of the program. He's the man who makes it all happen. I'm
brains
the guy
behind the operation.
That's right.
Well done, sir.
No brains in here. I just press the buttons.
Right. I just talk loud.
He's the Hall of Famer, Rondé Barber. I'm JB Biunno. That's Rhett Vale Jr., folks. We will see you next week. Yeah, next week, because we're back into weekly episodes here on the Rondé Barber Show.